Hey everybody, Backpack Hack here, coming at you with another trail tip. Today I'm going to be doing a review of a product I found a couple months ago when I ordered from a company called UV Paqlite. Now UV does not stand for ultraviolet, it stands for Uncle Vernon. If you want to know the story, the link to the manufacturer's website is down below, you can read it there. But the two products I ordered were a Tooblite and a glow stick. Now, why they don't call this a glow stick, because this is what I generally would call a glow stick, I don't know, but when you own the company, I guess you can call it whatever you want. And in fact, Uncle Vernon's name is right on here. It says Uncle Vernon's Tooblite. So I ordered 4 products. I ordered 2 of each. It comes in a set of 4. They're normally $25. I caught them on there on sale for $20. About $4 or $5 for shipping, so I got them for about $24, $25 for the set of 4. Now, these are a glow-in-the-dark product. They are not a chemical light. These are glow-in-the-dark. So they're not a direct replacement for chem lights or glow sticks. So first off, let's get into the specifications of these items. The Tooblites measure 6 3/8 long and are 2/3 of an inch in diameter. The glow sticks are 3 3/8 long, 7/10 of an inch wide, and 4/10 of an inch thick. The Tooblite weighs 1.3 ounces or 32 grams, while the glow sticks tip the scales at 2/3 ounce or about 20 grams. The Tooblite is very, very similar to what I call a glow stick. It's very similar in size and shape. The glow sticks are about half that, and they're almost like cut in half, so they're a U shape. They're not totally round. It's like you took one of these and cut it into fourths. That's basically what it looks like. Both of them have an attached lanyard. The glow sticks have a piece of paracord, whereas the Tooblites have a little key ring. The construction of these is basically made out of acrylic. It's the same stuff that you see snow globes made out of. Comparing these to a chem light, there's advantages to both a chem light or a glow stick, as well as an advantage to these glow-in-the-dark items. There are no flames, there are no batteries, there are no lamps, there's no electronics to fail or be subject to an EMP. Both are equally reliable, both are windproof, both are waterproof, they're non-toxic, so they're safe for children and elderly, and they are safe around flammables. The cons for both of them is they cannot be turned off like a flashlight, nor can you lower the output up as you wish. Now there are items that you can put these in to completely cover them up if you want to turn them off. And you can also throttle the output, but that's extra weight, extra gear, something else that you would have to carry. The advantages to these rechargeable lights is it's basically a glow-in-the-dark material. You simply lay it out in the light, it absorbs that energy, and then re-emits it as the soft green glow that you're comfortable with your chem lights with. The only problem is they aren't quite as bright. Now, the manufacturer of these says you can supercharge these with a very bright light source. So I'm going to do that real quick here with my flashlight. And all you got to do is just put a really bright light up against it, and it will glow very, 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 very brightly. Now, I don't know if you could be able to see this in the camera, even though it's a cloudy day. I don't know if you'll be able to see it glow compared to one that isn't supercharged. I really can't tell the difference. But if you want to know the difference between a regularly charged, a supercharged, and a chemical light, I'll go to a video that I took in this very same spot last night, and I'll show you the difference. Now this video isn't going to make sense when you first look at it because I'm in my backyard and it's dark, and even though we have a quarter moon, it's cloudy tonight. So all you see are 2 of these things, and they are lit up about how they would be if you just had them sitting out in the normal sunlight during the day, which is what I did. I set them out in the sunlight, and about 10 o'clock tonight, this is how bright they are. And as you can see, you probably can't even see this bush behind me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these and put them in my pocket so it's not affected by my flashlight. Cover your eyes, it's about to get really bright here. And I'm going to supercharge this one with my flashlight so you can see the difference between just a regular charge and a supercharge. I'm just going to run my flashlight, and it's up to 1,000 lumens right now. I'm going to run it up and down and turn it so it will be as bright as it possibly can be. Enough of that. And we'll get out the other one, and you can see a huge difference. Now you might be able to see the bush that's behind me. Now I'm really going to put a big test on this, and I'm going to crack open an actual chemical light. I'm going to put these in my pocket. I'm going to take a chemical light and I'm going to crack it and shake it up. Now you can see the difference between a chemical light and one of the supercharged ones, which is this one right here, and a standard one. That's the difference between these. Yes, this is bright. You can probably see me and the bush behind me and the ground. I don't know if the ground is even going to be in the camera, but you can probably see a lot of the bush behind me. So that's the difference between them. This does get pretty bright, but it's nothing compared to these chemical lights. So this gives you an idea of how bright it is compared to a chemical light when you supercharge them and under a normal charge. Now the chemical light does have its drawbacks. Mainly they are single use. You crack it, you get your light, and it's done with when it's done. Once that chemical reaction quits, you throw them away. So they're not ecologically friendly. If you're going to be using these quite a bit, they're going to start add up in cost. Whereas these, you buy them once and they're going to last you your lifetime. Another disadvantage to chemical lights is, let's say you want to put one in your backpack for a camping trip. You're going to put it in your pack. You think, I'm going to use this for my light source tonight. And you get to your campsite, and when you started out on the trail this morning, it broke inside your backpack and been sitting there putting light into your backpack all day. And then when you get to your campsite, it's pretty much used up. So it's done. The advantage to these is you can charge them hanging off your backpack all day long, and they're not going to run out of battery. They're charging all the time whenever there's a light source. That's one of the big advantages to these. Now, I'm not going to do any torture tests on these because the manufacturer doesn't have any claims to whether they're durable, they're waterproof, or anything like that. But simply being a solid piece of acrylic, I can't see where water or cold temperature or heat are going to affect them. I suppose if you drop them, you might chip them or crack them. And I suppose if you put enough pressure on them just right, they will break. But I don't think that they're going to affect the performance of it in anything other than temperature. I haven't checked them for whether temperature will affect their output. Now, these are not designed to be a one-on-one replacement simply because these are not as bright. However, they are more designed to be able to locate something. So what I was wanting to do was have one of these available when I go camping, and this way I can identify where I have certain things set in my tent. What I do is certain things I want to be able to find immediately in the dark, I have sitting on the floor of the tent. By having one of these there, I can immediately identify where they're at. Instead of waking up and wondering where something is in my tent, I can simply activate one of these either with the sunlight or with a flashlight, and I'm not standing here laying there in bed trying to find out where my flashlight is, where my bear spray is, where my pee bottle is, where my water is, where some sort of personal defense is, whether it's a firearm or a knife or pepper spray. I'm not pawing around on the floor of the tent trying to find those things. That's the purpose of these things, is more to identify the location of things. Now, my original idea was to charge these up, put them in a dark room, and photograph them over a 10-hour period to give you an idea how bright they are as they start degrading in their light output, because like any glow-in-the-dark product, it slowly goes down. The only problem is after just a couple hours, they got so dim that I couldn't get my camera to even record an image. This is the best I could do, even when they were fully charged. It's not that they're not bright, it's just that my camera doesn't have low light capability. So how do I quantify how bright these are compared to what you see and not being able to photograph them? Simple. I got out my good photographic meter. This is a $500 meter. What I was able to do is take meter readings of the light coming off of these which I can use this to come up with a chart, and this is what I came across. I've got two sets here, two sets of data. One is when I simply set these out in the sun for an hour or so on my deck under a partly cloudy sky to charge them up. I didn't want to put them under solid sunlight middle of the day. This was mid-afternoon, partly sunny skies, so they were going in and out of the clouds. I also took another one and I supercharged it with my flashlight. And these are the results. You can see that at the very beginning, the supercharged Tooblite is much, much brighter than the regular charge that it got out of sunlight. But after a couple hours, it fades, and after the second hour or so, is pretty much on par with the regularly charged Tooblite. So now that you have a good idea of how these two particular products stack up against a regular Chemlight, you're probably thinking, well, if they aren't as bright, why would I want them? Well, as I stated, there are a lot of advantages to these over these. These are single use, you use them, you're done. These things you can use over and over and over again. Although they're not as bright, my use is going to simply be to have ability to find things where I have set up and I can identify where they're at immediately in the dark. That is my purpose for these. Are they a replacement for those chemical lights? Absolutely not. Are they a complement to them? Absolutely. So I think you ought to look into these and add them to your kit. So this is Backpack Hack coming at you with this trail tip. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment on my videos. Be safe out there, and I'll see you out on the trail.